Tonight's SmackDown is the go-home show for Sunday's WWE Backlash. And tonight we seen Sheamus and Jeff Hardy in a contract signing that WWE dubbed one of the most controversial contract signings in the history of WWE. Also, Sasha Banks and Bayley celebrate their women's championship victory from last week. Braun Strowman finds Tucker Knight, teams with heavy machinery against the Miz, John Morrison, and Dolph Ziggler ahead of his Universal Championship title defense on Sunday. And was it a 5-star Intercontinental Championship classic between Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles? All this plus Bruce running SmackDown right here on Off the Script.
Delete! This is mine.
Alive with it. People still What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me on this Friday night. It is Friday, June 12th, 2020, and we are going to talk about SmackDown, the Intercontinental Championship. Finally on the line, we are going to determine a new Intercontinental Champion. I had one way, WWE had another, but at the end of the night, there is no one that is going to complain about what we've seen between Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles in the finals of the IC Championship tournament. Unbelievable TV match. We're going to go over it all right here on Off the Script, as well as all the other happenings on the show tonight, heading into Sunday's WWE Backlash on pay-per-view. It's been a busy day, man. It's been a busy day. I was very much looking forward to the Intercontinental Championship Tournament Finals. I got tipped off a couple of weeks ago about the length of the match. I got tipped off about how great the match was, and it delivered on both aspects. I don't know why it wasn't the main event, but I will not complain that we got a great TV match between Bryan and Styles. It will probably go down as the best TV match in pro wrestling all year. In WWE, I should say. I don't know what AEW is going to do or what they have done that you guys might think is better, but in WWE, without question, that will be the best TV match that they produced all year on Raw and on SmackDown. Again, I don't know why it wasn't in the main event. Some of you even asked me why this match wasn't taking place at the pay-per-view. We're going to go over that as well. Hilarious as it may seem, there's a reason why this match wasn't taking place on Sunday's Backlash pay-per-view, as it should have. But when you are hyping the greatest match ever between Randy Orton and Edge, and then you see something like that, I mean, whatever you're promoting with Edge and Randy Orton will not be anywhere close to the greatest match ever if Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles are on the show. So we're going to go over that in its entirety, where I think AJ Styles goes from here, why I thought Daniel Bryan, you guys should know if you've been listening to me, why Daniel Bryan, in my honest opinion, should have won this match. So we'll go over all that tonight on the podcast. Jeff Hardy and Sheamus. I don't know how you guys are feeling about it. I don't really have the words to express my displeasure for it. I already did that on the podcast earlier this afternoon. But Jeff Hardy and Sheamus were in one of the most controversial, this is WWE's language, the most controversial contract signing in the history of WWE, where Sheamus had administered a piss test for Jeff Hardy right before their match on Sunday at Backlash. Was it as controversial as WWE made it out to be? Did you guys have a problem with it? Did I have a problem with it? Was it necessary? We're going to go over all that on the podcast as well tonight. And Braun Strowman teams with heavy machinery. Yes, Tucker Knight has been found I don't need to have Salrex put him on the back of a fucking milk carton. Tucker Knight has been found. He teamed with Otis against The Miz, John Morrison, and Dolph Ziggler. The three losers of SmackDown in the main event of the show ahead of the handicap match between Strowman, Miz, and Morrison at Backlash. Decent show tonight, but I will say this. Sasha Banks' outfit was greater than anything on SmackDown. Just let everybody know that right now. Simple. I'm a simple man. When Sasha comes out wearing white, you stop what you're doing. Simple. Anyway, we're going to go over SmackDown, so thank you guys so very much for joining me here on the podcast. Listen, if you guys missed Off the Script this afternoon, man, episode 330, part number 1, go and check it out. Man, oh man, you guys wanted a rant about Paul Heyman and Bruce Pritchard and the Raw creative now shifting power to Bruce Pritchard. My good old buddy Bruce is running not only SmackDown, but Raw as well. I can't wait for the ship to go down even harder in WWE. This is a mistake. I don't see anything good coming out of this. This is simply one of the worst things I've seen all year in WWE. SmackDown is terrible, and now you're bringing over the writing staff from SmackDown to take care of Monday and work with the team over on Monday. This is not going to end up good. It really isn't. I gave you every single explanation in the book, dating back to last year when I talked about how Bischoff was a scapegoat. It's going to happen to Paul Heyman. He's going to be a scapegoat. And now Bruce Pritchard is now in the role of a scapegoat, because when Vince McMahon realizes that even good old Bruce can't fix Monday Night Raw, who is he going to place the blame on? Bruce Pritchard is nothing more than a Vince McMahon clone. He's Vince McMahon 2.0. He's Vince McMahon's mini-me. So when Bruce writes the show that Vince wants and the ratings don't go anywhere but down, who is Vince going to blame? At that point, you're better off just blaming yourself. That would have spared a lot of jobs that have been tarnished and destroyed in Vince McMahon's wake. So if you guys missed that, we go over literally every aspect of the news that broke on Thursday. Go and check it out. Probably the biggest off the script of the entire year. Just like last year when they were named executive directors of Raw and SmackDown. That was the biggest show of the year. I expect nothing less than this show on Friday. Go and check it out. Links are down in the description of this very video. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. That is on Twitter and Instagram. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. If you want to support the podcast via the Patreon page, patreon.com/JD from NY206. And today's podcast is brought to you by my good friends over at Harry's, harrys.com/script. We'll talk about them a little bit later, but let's get on into the review. And we got SmackDown opening up hot, white hot, piss hot. Jeff Hardy and Sheamus and the contract signing / piss test on SmackDown for their match at Backlash. Now, Renee Young said the WWE officials have requested that Sheamus and Jeff Hardy meet to sign a contract for Backlash. No titles on the line. No titles on the line at Backlash, but we have a contract signing nonetheless. She welcomed Sheamus to the ring, who, in my eyes, has done great on SmackDown, man. Sheamus acting like a big cock is absolutely must-see TV. I love him. I think he's been just a thorn in Jeff Hardy's side. He's played the role of a dick so well. I love it. He's got that natural, just dick-like attitude that just comes off so easy on TV. Sheamus has been great in his time back on WWE television. He came to the ring with 3 security guards and a man in a lab coat, a.k.a. the Doctor. The guards helped him set up a makeshift privacy tent in the middle of the ring. Renee then welcomed Jeff Hardy. Renee asked Sheamus what the setup was for. Sheamus said it's for privacy and discretion. I wouldn't want to offend the lady, he said. Jeff told Renee not to worry about it. He doesn't care what Sheamus has up his sleeve here. Sheamus reiterated that it had nothing to do with the car accident involving Jeff's car. Said he had his lawyers convince management that before signing the contract, Jeff Jeff Hardy would have to take a urine test live here on SmackDown in the open of the show. Sheamus said if Jeff fails, he is in a whole heap of trouble. Jeff said he is an alcoholic. Anybody would be an alcoholic if they have to endure SmackDown every week at 2 hours on Fox, Friday, 8 to 10. Just throwing that out there. Worse on Raw for 3 hours. If you don't have a couple of cold beverages during Monday Night Raw, I don't know how the fuck you're getting through that show. But regardless, Jeff said he's an alcoholic. And he's regularly talked about how much he's let his family down, friends down, his fans down. Hardy promised to be a beacon of light for the rest of the people who struggle with the same issues as him. He agreed to go along with Sheamus's test. That's great, Sheamus yelled out inside the Performance Center. He told Jeff that he paid for a doctor to administer a rapid test with instant results. Don't worry about it. I paid for it all by myself. Jeff stepped into the privacy tent. Sheamus stood in front and provided a public service announcement telling kids not to take drugs. Sheamus then yelled at Jeff to hurry up. Jeff looked back at him as he was fucking crazy. The doctor emerged from this large makeshift area that they set up for Jeff to piss in. And he emerges from this area. And I swear to God, man, I don't know what type of canister this was, but it looked like a mega-sized mason jar. And it was of a dark color, as if Jeff Hardy drank no water all day long. This guy must have been holding in his pee for about 12 hours that he pissed so much he filled up a mega-like mason jar right there. Abnormally, just too much pee for this one little sample. I didn't know he needed to do all that just to administer a rapid test, but here we are. So the doctor emerged with this dark yellow fluid. Sheamus said he must have a great time at happy hour. Ha ha ha. Sheamus is great. Hardy said it's better to be pissed off than pissed on. And there's your Vince McMahon joke. There's your Vince McMahon-ism. It's better to be pissed off than pissed on. And he threw the entire mason-like jar in Sheamus's face. Sheamus was gagging all over the place, coughing uncontrollably. Jeff left the ring. Sheamus was wheezing and selling the effects of the urine being thrown in his face. And that was it. That was it. Couple of things we learned here. A, Jeff Hardy needs to drink more water. B, it was apple juice, clowns. Don't worry about it. C, why? D, and this is the kicker, folks. This is the kicker, which I don't understand. Never mind the contract signing for a match that isn't for a title. D, if they want to administer a rapid test with results right then and there, and Sheamus wants to administer this drug test on Friday, 2 days before Sunday, at Backlash, who's to say Jeff Hardy passes the test on Friday and shows up inebriated on Sunday right before his match at Backlash? That would really make the contract signing here absolutely pointless. So I guess they're leaving it open to interpretation that Jeff may or may not show up on Sunday inebriated, because in WWE's eyes, they keep nailing the fact home that Jeff is an alcoholic, that Jeff is a junkie. Now, I may be thinking a little bit too much on this, but this is my job. If I tried to make sense of literally everything that happened on SmackDown, I would drive myself into the fucking lunatic asylum. But that did not make sense. You're administering a piss test on Friday to get results on Friday for a match on Sunday. Who's to say Jeff Hardy doesn't show up fucking blitzed out of his mind on Sunday and wrestle Sheamus like he wrestled Sting at that one TNA pay-per-view? Could happen. Could happen. Doesn't make sense. You gotta cover those logic gaps, Bruce. Seriously. That's one big pothole you're waiting to drive over. And you don't even give a shit. Busted tire and all. Give me a break. Now, I don't know where they're going with this. Clearly, Jeff is going to get his revenge on Sheamus. Don't know why this was necessary. I mentioned it on Off the Script. This was okay when they did the car accident skit and they quote-unquote arrested Jeff Hardy for supposed driving behind the wheel. We all knew it was going to be Sheamus to set him up. That was fine. It started the show off in a little bit of a different fashion, a little bit outside the box, even though it was kind of a low blow. But they started the show off and made it feel important. On top of that, I mentioned previously that they got themselves out of a sticky situation with the IC title tournament because the way that they had set it up, it was not making any sense. Jeff Hardy needed to win. There was no way that Jeff Hardy could lose, but they put him in a situation with Daniel Bryan, and there's no way you're going to have Jeff Hardy beat Daniel Bryan. If he went to the finals against AJ Styles, who just got to SmackDown, then it would be the same thing. You can't have Jeff Hardy lose in his return for redemption on SmackDown. But what did WWE do? What did WWE do? They sacrificed Sheamus in the first round of the tournament. They gave you Jeff and Sheamus in the first round when that match should have been a match that the entire tournament should have been built around. But they had to get themselves out of this situation. So they did what they did. Low blow, yes, but it was supposed to be a one-night thing. Jeff was released from police custody because he had passed the sobriety test and he was let back into the arena. That should have been it. And then WWE takes it another step too far to really enhance the fact that Jeff is an alcoholic, that Jeff is a junkie, that Jeff is recovering. They don't know when to quit. They really don't. And then the piss test. This is bathroom humor by Vince McMahon. This is what he lives for. This is why Bruce is now riding Monday Night Raw, because this is what Bruce okays, and Vince McMahon says, great job there, Bruce. This is exactly how I want it to be done. Throwing urine on another WWE superstar is Vince McMahon's form of entertainment. This did not need to be. This was way too far. It really was. And on top of that, it's uncreative. WWE is going back into the time machine in 2006 when Shawn Michaels did the same thing to Vince McMahon. So all Bruce is doing is rehashing a storyline in 2020 and playing it off as if it's fresh and exciting between Sheamus and Jeff Hardy, when in reality it is not. Now, I did the same thing with the IC title. But in my situation, Daniel Bryan is not throwing fucking piss on Sami Zayn. I don't get it. At least at that point, it would be classic WWE wrestling and a classic storyline. This is just crude adult humor that is exploiting Jeff Hardy's history and demons. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. This is WWE's creative job to do Jeff Hardy justice. He's come back, and right after he comes back, let's throw him in a junkie storyline. You guys call yourself creative writers, but you're going back and rehashing storylines from 2006. You're using the guy's fucking past and his real life history in a storyline so soon after he just got back and admitted to everybody that he's going to meetings every week. This is your creative writing. This is the extent of your creative writing. There was no other way that you could get across that Jeff is going to conquer his demons and he's going to seek redemption and be a better man. You got to put him right back in the boat that got him in trouble in the first place, only to exploit it for your own gain. And what is it really doing? Is it going to get Jeff over? Is Jeff really going to find redemption? Or is this going to be an ongoing thing until you realize that he's not re-signing with the WWE? You're using this to bury him and lose value before he goes to AEW and really has his redemption when he wins the AEW Tag Team Championships with Matt Hardy. So where's this real redemption coming in? Is WWE doing right by Jeff? Are they doing it to maybe keep him on TV, give him some TV time, have him think, you know what, maybe they value me? Are they wanting him to re-sign by putting him on TV all these times in major storylines? Or is WWE setting him up to inevitably fail, weaken him, make him look like a joke, have him at less value when his contract is up, so when he goes somewhere else, everybody thinks, oh, Jeff is a loser. Jeff is never going to change. Jeff has no value. That's what I'm wondering at this stage. Last week, I was okay with it. The week before that in the car accident, I was okay with it. It was quick. It was to the point. It wasn't egregious. This was egregious. Now you're just exploiting Jeff for absolutely no reason but your own. I'm over it. Get the match, get the feud over with, and get Jeff into something substantial that is really going to play off the fact that he's looking for redemption. Because this ain't it. This ain't it. This is Bruce. This is typical 101 creative writing with Bruce Pritchard. Let me do something and include toilet humor to get my boss, ha 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 ha, so I'm safe for another week. Meanwhile, the ratings come in overnight. They'll be a 1.8. So who's the real loser here, Bruce? Moving on. Sheamus was backstage, gargling with some Listerine. Doctor walked in and informed him that Jeff's results came back negative. Of course they did. Of course they did. Sheamus threw a fit, told the doctor to get out. So we move on to the first match of the night, The New Day. Kofi Kingston and Big E versus Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, let me go to my Twitter page. I got to shout him out because this was the tweet of the night for me. This was absolutely the tweet of the night for me. This is the basis of every fucking thing that I'm going to tell you about this match. Nakamura and Cesaro, love them. I think they are highly underutilized. You take them out of WWE and put them anywhere else, they'll be megastars overnight. John Draper of Wrestling Soup, my boys over at Wrestling Soup, he tweeted during this match and said this about Nakamura. Nakamura wrestles every match like a person that gave 2 weeks' notice to his job and has nothing to gain or lose at this point, just riding out the clock. Fucking ridiculous. That was the tweet of the night on my timeline. And I could not agree with that anymore. Nakamura, I'm telling you, man, at some point in this weekend, I'm going to go back and watch Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura at NXT TakeOver Dallas and really just reaffirm myself with what Nakamura was in the WWE and what he is now. I legitimately get sad every time I look at Shinsuke Nakamura. It is pathetic how WWE has mishandled not only Nakamura, but Cesaro and this entire tag team division. I am tired of complaining about it. Jeff Hardy said it tonight. I am sick and tired of being sick and tired. So they have a random match with the New Day, who are, by the way, you might have forgotten, the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. So in this thing, it went 7 minutes. Big E and Cesaro tagged in their partners. So in comes Kofi, in comes Shinsuke. Kofi hit Shinsuke with a trio of leaping clotheslines, followed up by a boom drop. He set up for Trouble in Paradise, but Nakamura cut him off. Cesaro tagged in, and Kofi hit Shinsuke with an SOS. Cesaro broke up the cover. Big E clotheslined Cesaro to the outside. Shinsuke set up Kofi on the top rope. Kofi fought him off, went for a leaping crossbody. Nakamura, who was legal at this point, got his knees up, rolled Kofi into a cover for a quick 3 count, and the team of Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura defeated the tag team champions on SmackDown, which will more than likely result in a tag team title match on Sunday, whether it be on the pay-per-view or on the pre-show. We're getting some form of Nakamura and Cesaro against the New Day, Big E and Kofi Kingston for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. I don't believe I have to come on here every single fucking time and explain myself how this is not right. I'm going to use this word again because it's the word of the night for me. Egregious. This is creative fucking garbage. This is egregious creative. Okay? I even said so on Twitter. How does anybody in this company, in management, in creative, look at this and realize they haven't fucked up? How do they look at this and think, man, we did a great job tonight on SmackDown? I don't know how anybody doesn't complain as much as I do about this situation right here. You don't even have fucking tag teams in the division, number one. Cesaro and Nakamura are not even a fucking tag team. Sami Zayn was their leader in the Artist Collective, but Sami Zayn is quote-unquote injured, meaning he was stripped of the IC title for not coming to work like a good little soldier. So Nakamura and Cesaro don't have their boy. The Artist Collective right now is no more. But they're not even a real tag team. WWE has kept them together because there is nothing else for these guys to do. Number one. Number two, they've lost every single match they've been a part of. So what makes them even in contention for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships? I don't even understand that. Just by that one aspect alone. You shouldn't even be booking a match between these two teams. Number 3, again and again and again, we see the same old tired formula of WWE taking whoever the fucking team is to go up against the champions, and on basic fucking TV, whether it be a Raw or SmackDown, we get the challenging team beating the champions on TV, which results in a fucking tag team title match. I cannot even begin to tell you how lazy that is. On top of the other 2 reasons I just gave you, this is a creative fucking disaster. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So now we got a tag team title match between these 2 teams, whether it happens on Sunday or it happens next Friday. I could not possibly give any shits whatsoever. I don't get it. When are we going to start thinking how to get legit challenges for these titles? Why does it have to be Team A beats Team B, Team A beats the tag team champions, and then boom, poof, like a fucking magician, they get a tag team title opportunity? Why? Does nobody know this is wrong? Does anybody realize that you're beating your champions on basic television, on a random edition of SmackDown? And this is not the only time that it happens in the year, folks. There's at least a handful of times that this has already happened on SmackDown already this year, and it will not be the last. No matter who the champions are, they go through this situation almost every other pay-per-view. Now, how does that look good for the tag team champions? 6 times out of the fucking year, given 12 pay-per-views, every other fucking pay-per-view, you're gonna have your tag team champions lose just to give a random team a tag team title opportunity at a pay-per-view? How does that make your champions' reign look when they lose? None of your champions should be losing. The only time your champions should be losing is when it's their time to give up said championships in a championship match. Or am I fucking losing my mind? I don't know how I'm a better creative writer and a better creative analyst than half of the fucking people working in this company. You want to anger me? There you go. Ridiculous. Cesaro and Nakamura are better off away from World Wrestling Entertainment. Backstage, Tucker and Otis prepared for their 6-man tag team match. Oh, great. Oh, great. We found Tucker. Now I don't have to have Sal Rex make me a fucking milk carton with his picture on it. Now Ali is all by himself. You see what happened? Tucker and Otis prepared for their 6-man tag team match. Otis was wearing a blindfold. That's how you watch SmackDown. That is the most ideal way to watch SmackDown, folks. In a blindfold. Otis has got it right. He's doing the right thing. Tucker was giving him foods to smell. Mandy Rose walked up on screen and gave him a kiss. Otis seemed confused. I appreciate the motivation, Tucky, but Mandy then removed the blindfold. She wished him luck and told him she would see him after the match. Tucker told Otis that the opportunity may present itself to cash in on Strowman tonight. Sure. I'd actually be okay with that. Anything or anyone but Strowman. That's the motto nowadays, folks, on Friday night. Anyone but Strowman. It used to be anybody but Roman. And now it's anybody but wee. You know, he can run fast. Your Universal Champion can run fast, folks. I'm not sure if you're aware. Anyway, moving on here. We move on from that to AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, this match started at around 8:35 or so, and it took up the majority of the show, and rightfully so. I don't know why this wasn't the main event of the show. WWE, before this match, aired a really good highlight package, a video package of the prestige of the Intercontinental Championship. Now, all of a sudden, the WWE is finding that the Intercontinental Championship is prestigious. Now, if you look on WWE television, I would say, in the last 3 or 4 years, the title has been anything but prestigious. Now they want to make sure the Intercontinental Championship is in the spotlight and given that prestigious overtone. How WWE works, man. How WWE works. It's prestigious when they want it to be prestigious, and it's fucking garbage when they want it to be fucking garbage. Please. Is AJ Styles going to take the IC title into better spotlight and better heights than the previous owners? I hope so. I certainly hope so. This match was great. This match was great. Everybody was like, this is a 5-star match. This is a 5-star match. I can't give it a 5-star match. I can't give this match 5 stars. There's one reason and one reason only why I will not give it 5 stars. It's because there was 4 commercial breaks in the match. I cannot find myself to be completely invested in something as important as this match that WWE made it out to be when there's 4 goddamn commercial breaks in the match. If this match had no commercial breaks, you might be looking at Match of the Year candidate. But WWE always got to fuck it up some way, somehow. AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan are 2 of the best performers, not only in the WWE, but in the world. In the world. They may very well have the best chemistry in all of WWE, period. I don't think you could find any 2 guys on the main roster that have better chemistry in the ring, one-on-one, than Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles. The only other duo that comes to mind is Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. That's it. Or Johnny Gargano and Adam Cole is a second one. Those are the top 3. Seriously. This match was fucking great. AJ says he's phenomenal. This match should have already been proved by that point before we even got to this match. But he says he's phenomenal. This match did exactly that. It was phenomenal. Daniel Bryan, you don't even realize this guy took 4 years off. Still, never, ever, ever lost a beat. Simply one of the greatest ever. Bryan and Styles, unbelievable match. Went nearly 30 minutes. Let me see the exact time on this match. I got it written here. Let me see what it was. It went, with TV and commercials, 39 minutes to crown a new Intercontinental Champion on SmackDown. Really, really great stuff here. Hard-hitting match. Told a great story, whether it was AJ's arm or Bryan's knee, or Bryan's arm rather, and AJ's knee. It was great stuff. Really great story told here between these 2. Bryan had an early advantage with a wrist lock. Styles reversed. Bryan broke free. Rock Styles with the standing dropkick. AJ Styles has one of the best dropkicks in the business. I think the only other one in the WWE that has a better dropkick, I would say, is Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler's dropkick is fucking perfect. AJ Styles is right up there. Now, it's not Okada level, but AJ and Dolph have the best dropkicks in WWE. Bryan then tossed Styles to the floor, followed up by a suicide dive. We go to commercial break number 1. Bryan was in control, landed knees to the back of Styles. Bryan worked over the left arm of AJ Styles. Styles broke free, shot Bryan off the ropes. Styles then rocked Bryan with another standing dropkick. Styles took over, worked over Bryan's arm. A real wrestling clinic. Move for move, submission for submission. They slowed it down. It was nicely paced. Picked it up when it needed to. It didn't go 1,000 miles an hour like you expect a match to go, like these 2 guys can work. They slowed it down. It was methodical at first, showing you some wrestling, and then picked it up when it was absolutely necessary. So Styles took over. Bryan fought back, caught Styles with a knee right to the midsection. He went for a surfboard, couldn't do it because his arm was being worked on by AJ Styles, and Bryan sold the arm hurting. Bryan worked over Styles' knee instead, rolled up Styles for a near fall early on. Bryan rocked Styles with some kicks in the corner. Bryan attempted a running dropkick, but Styles charged and hit a sunset flip for a near fall. Styles and Bryan then traded a series of quick pinfall attempts. Both got back up to their feet and, boom, collided right in the middle of the ring. Commercial break number 2. Bryan was back in control, continued working on Styles' arm, which was the story of the match. Bryan attempted the yes lock, but Styles fought out, sent him to the outside to the floor. Styles leapt over the top rope to the floor. Bryan caught him and sent him shoulder first into the ring post. Bryan stomped Styles' elbow, applied a hammer lock. Bryan pulled way back and then rolled up Styles for a near fall. Bryan attempted the running dropkick in the corner, but Styles moved, and you heard a big boom when Daniel Bryan hit the corner. That was great. Bryan crashed into the corner. Styles recovered, nailed Bryan with some kicks to the leg, working over his leg. Styles then slammed Bryan's leg on the apron, obviously setting him up for the calf crusher. Styles continued to work over Bryan's leg. Styles tied Bryan's leg up in the ropes, kicking him while he was down. Bryan fought back and hit Styles with an out-of-nowhere enziguri. Bryan placed Styles on the top turnbuckle, hit a beautiful Hurricane Rana. He attempted the yes kicks, but Styles ducked and they traded some hard strikes back and forth. Both went for a clothesline, collided in the middle of the ring. Commercial number 3. So we go from commercial 3 back to the match. Bryan and Styles traded some shots in the middle of the ring. Bryan launched Styles over the top rope to the floor. He attempted a suicide dive, but Styles cut him off with a kick to the arm. Styles then attempted the phenomenal forearm, but Bryan caught him midair into an armbar and locked it in. Styles reversed this into the calf crusher. Bryan countered back into the armbar and then slid into the triangle. Styles attempted the Styles Clash. Broke free, did Bryan. Bryan rocked Styles with a hard kick to the side of the head. Bryan then placed Styles back up top, but Styles hit Bryan with some elbows to knock him off. Bryan quickly recovered, climbed back to the top. Styles knocked Bryan off again, but he got right back up. Bryan then hit a belly-to-back suplex off the top turnbuckle. The fourth and final commercial break, I should say. Bryan was in control with some uppercuts on Styles. Bryan ran up the turnbuckle, did his signature Daniel Bryan flip, and landed on his bad leg. Styles then hit a reverse DDT because Bryan couldn't follow through with his signature spot. Styles attempted the Pele kick again, but Bryan caught the leg and hit a German suplex. He held on, and Styles broke free and hit a German suplex for a very close near fall. Bryan recovered, hit a series of elbows. Bryan then applied the yes lock, but Styles made it to the ropes to break the hold. Bryan then grabbed Styles' arms and hit him with some kicks to the head. So we got Bryan at this point, near the end of the match, set up for the running knee. Styles caught him, hit the Styles Clash. Styles then hit the phenomenal forearm in the end to win the only championship he's never won in WWE and finally became the Intercontinental Champion. This was great. Minus the 4 fucking commercial breaks, this was great. 4-star match from me. Could have been a 5, but I don't think WWE is going to have a better TV match all year on either Raw or SmackDown. Everything about this match was great. Styles and Bryan are fucking masters of their art. Michael Cole, I usually shit on Michael Cole, but Michael Cole and Corey Graves did an excellent job at building the intrigue and going over how important this is to not only Bryan, but AJ Styles. Really did a good job, even though it's a joke, about putting over the Intercontinental Championship and what it would mean for both of these guys. Everything was just right. SmackDown never gets anything right. This tournament was great. Now you know why I love tournaments so much. This is exactly the product of a good tournament. How over are both of these guys now? How much more over is the Intercontinental Championship now that it's been put in this spotlight? Everything just worked. Now it's up to WWE, as always, to keep that momentum going and really nail home the fact that the IC title is the most important title in the company. It really is a ground or stepping stone title. Whoever owns that Intercontinental Championship is the next in line to be the man. That's what it needs to go back to being. Not just some pushover fucking throw it to the side championship just for the sake of having someone be a champion. The IC Championship has the most prestige next to the WWF Championship in this company's history. WWE Championship. I don't even think the WWE Championship has any prestige, really. That's why I said WWF, but you get my point. The IC title needs to be in a position where it's the second most prestigious title in this company. Will WWE do that? More than likely not. Now, I wanted Daniel Bryan to win this. I really did. I thought him winning this match would make it so much easier for Sami Zayn to come on in. Honestly. Storyline is there. We got Daniel Bryan, Sami Zayn, champion versus champion. The new champion, the interim champion versus the old champion who was stripped of the championship. Now, WWE may still do that. They could still do that with Sami Zayn and AJ Styles. I would also take that match. But they're both heels. It fit better as a dynamic with Daniel Bryan and Sami Zayn. Now, with AJ Styles and him winning the championship, what does WWE do? SummerSlam could be very interesting, folks. There's a certain bro that's making his debut in ring on SmackDown next week. I'm not advocating for Matt Riddle to immediately be placed in the IC Championship match with AJ Styles, but if you build him up, and you build him up right, and he gets some solid wins over some solid acts on SmackDown, and you make this match important and have it showcased at SummerSlam, we could be looking at a match of the year candidate with Matt Riddle and AJ Styles for the Intercontinental Championship. That's where I think they go. In fact, that's where they should go. There's no other babyface on this show worthy of challenging for that Intercontinental Championship. You've buried and ruined everybody, so I don't really give a shit about anybody else. But the one guy I do care about is Bro. Matt Riddle versus AJ Styles for SummerSlam, WWE. Book it. Write it on the fucking card sheet. Book it. Now. That's what you got to do. After the match, Renee Young stepped into the ring to interview AJ Styles. She asked what this win meant to him. Styles says he's the best WWE champion in the WWE universe, the best champion that the WWE universe has ever seen. I am phenomenal. This was great. Everybody involved gets a 2 thumbs up here. Graves, Cole, Bryan, Styles, everybody. Awesome stuff. Backstage, Braun Strowman says there's a lot going on tonight. There's still a 6-man tag team match to come. Oh, great. I can't wait to not watch. Strowman says he can fix his car, but Miz and Morrison won't be able to fix themselves after he's finished with them. He turned to Tucker and Otis. He says he likes Otis, but if he has to, he has no problem obliterating some heavy machinery. And that was that. I don't know where this is going with Otis and the Universal Championship, but I'm not interested whatsoever, which at this point I would have been okay if WWE gave that briefcase to anybody else in WWE, on SmackDown, on Raw. Really doesn't matter to me. I'm over Otis holding the briefcase. I don't even think, the more we watch, the more I think Otis is not even worthy of holding that briefcase. And Braun Strowman, please, don't get me started. Guys, I know times are tough right now, but Harry's is here to keep you saving some money and keep you looking good all summer long. It's business on top, and in my case, always PJs on the bottom. Harry's has your grooming needs covered with high-quality blades as low as $2 each, delivered straight to your doorstep. I love Harry's products, man. I've been with Harry's legitimately. This is me to you. I've been with Harry's for 3 years now. And every single time I use their products, every single time I use their blades, man, I feel great after I use their products. I love the blade, the smooth glide of the blade. I never cut myself. I love their shave gel with aloe. It smells so good, and it just delivers on the spot, man, with a great shave every single time. Get a Harry's trial set delivered to your doorstep by going to harrys.com/scripts. Harry's is a return to the essential, always quality, durable blades at a fair price. Just $2 per blade. They've also cut out the middleman, manufacturing blades in their German blade factory that's been honing precision for over a century, which means you guys get incredibly high quality blades at factory direct prices. Harry's is also super convenient. Blade refills are delivered directly to your door on your schedule with or without a subscription. And especially in this challenging time, feel a little bit better about your purchase. 1% of proceeds are set aside for nonprofit organizations devoted to helping provide access to better healthcare for men and veterans. And also, Harry's is donating $1 million worth of shaving supplies to hospitals across the United States. Listeners of Off the Script can redeem their Harry's trial set at harrys.com/script. This is what it includes: a weighted handle for a firm grip, 5-blade razor with a lubricating strip and a trimmer blade, rich lathering shave gel with aloe to keep your skin hydrated, and a travel blade cover which keeps your razor dry and easy on the go. Guys, it's simple. Start shaving better today. There's no better way than Harry's. harrys.com/scripts. We go from Braun Strowman obliterating heavy machinery, or saying he wants to obliterate some heavy machinery, just like he obliterates the ratings on Friday nights every week. There you go, Strowman. Got to get my digs in at Strowman. We go from that to Sasha and Bayley celebrating their championship victory last week, winning the tag team championships. Now, I don't know exactly what we're celebrating. We're celebrating them winning the tag team championships in a worthless division, an irrelevant division, I guess. Or better yet, maybe we are. Maybe we are in a situation where we have to celebrate because Sasha won a championship, finally, in WWE. That is a call for celebration, no question. Anyway, they stopped at the announcer's desk on the way to the ring to give Cole a pair of glasses. He already has glasses. So now he's 4 eyes, 6 eyes, 8 eyes, Michael Cole. Maybe it'll help him call a better match. Can't shit on him. He did a good job with Graves in that IC title match between Bryan and Styles. They set up to take a picture with him, only to rip the glasses away, and then they blocked him, rightfully so, out of the picture because a picture of Bayley and Sasha Banks mired by Michael Cole. Give me a break. So they talked about the women's triple threat match at Backlash, a match that doesn't need to be taking place. I don't know why. Sasha and Bayley just won the championships. All they needed to do was come out here and celebrate and say they'll show up on Wednesday and give any team in NXT a shot at the Tag Team Championships. Meanwhile, we got Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross in that match. They lost. The rematch clause doesn't exist anymore, but in WWE's eyes, apparently it still does. And the moronics, the iconics, the idiotics, the stuponics, the get off my TV onyx, the I'm going to change the channel to Food Network and see what Guy Fieri is eating in Seattle onyx, iconics, are in this match, and they've done nothing to warrant a tag team title opportunity. So please tell me, what is going on here, Mr. Bruce? Why are we seeing this when none of it makes sense? I don't get it. I don't get it. All they need to do is show up, say they're going to go on Wednesday, show on NXT, and boom. And you know what I said on the podcast last week. That Sasha and Bayley need to show up on NXT and go one-on-one in a tag team match against Tegan Nox and Shotzi Blackheart. What do you think they're doing? Somebody's listening to me. I know they are. I know they are. So the crowd was booing at Bayley. She told them that they're lucky that they got invited to their celebration. Bayley said it's lonely at the top, but she's not lonely because she's got her best friend, the GOAT, Sasha Banks. She and Sasha held up the tag team titles. We told you so, said Sasha. She claims she and Bayley are role models. Uh-oh. My boy Jesse's going to have a role model dilemma here. Bayley, Sasha, or Britt Baker? I don't know anymore, man. I don't know. I'll let him decide. I think I know his answer, especially after tonight with what Sasha Banks was wearing. I know his answer for sure. Anyway. We got Sasha saying, I told you so, or we told you so. She said she and Bayley are unstoppable. Bayley said she wrote a poem about how she feels. She was then interrupted by Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Lexa! Sure. So we got Lexi and Lexa in the ring. Two teams began to argue. The Iconics, the Moronics, you guys get the point. They showed up on the big screen. Behind the Iconics was a Monday Night Raw logo. So we got the Iconics in what looked to be a taped vignette or a taped promo from Monday night. And all four women in the ring were just looking at the big screen, right? So does this constitute as the Iconics showing up on SmackDown for the Brand to Brand Invitational? I have to know. I'm going and counting it in my notes. That's all I'm going to say about that. So they were on the big screen. Billy Kay and Peyton Royce mentioned that they beat Bliss and Cross recently. Where? I must have missed it. Someone please fill me in. And took the titles from Bayley and Banks. Another way to rub it in there. A brawl ensued between the two teams in the ring. Kay and Royce laughed on the screen. Banks and Bayley escaped the ring. We'll see you on Sunday, you stupid idiots, Bayley screamed out. Great. This was terrible. Sasha Banks and Bayley deserve better than to be mixing it up with Alexa Bliss and Lexa! And, what's their names? Those who will remain nameless. Onyx. There you go. Kayla Braxton interviewed The Miz and John Morrison. They said everyone has been talking about Kayla since she got slimed last week like she was on Double Dare. They queued up a new music video that was called Hey, 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 Ho, or something like that. And it was quickly cut off by Braun Strowman's music and intro. Gotta admit, the intro to Braun Strowman on the screen with the Strowman Express looked pretty cool. So we got this 6-man tag team match in the main event. The Intercontinental Championship, as prestigious as WWE made it sound, was not good enough for the main event on this night. I don't know why. Apparently, Braun Strowman versus the fucking Clown Parade is more important than the Intercontinental Championship between AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan. This one went 10 minutes. I'll tell you what I did during this match. I cleaned my bathroom. My toilet was looking a little grimy. So I figured, you know what? I'm going to go clean my toilet. I could not give a single shit about this match. You could not pay me all the coffee in the world to care about these 6 men in this main event. I just don't care. The one thing I did see is everybody looked like a bunch of fucking idiots stopping what they were doing in the middle of the ring because on the screen, Baron Corbin was rolling through the backstage area and seen Mandy Rose just standing about. She looked like she was daydreaming. She was just standing there doing nothing. She wasn't even interviewed by anybody. There was nobody doing her makeup. She was just standing in front of a fucking fenced-off section of the backstage area. Corbin asked Mandy if it was her idea for Otis to steal the crown last week on SmackDown. Mandy said they were just having a little fun, take it easy, it was all a joke. Corbin said Mandy must be fantasizing about being with a real man with power, meaning him. Now, if Mandy wants to be with a loser, then by all means, go for Baron Corbin. So Otis left the match and flew backstage to go brawl with Baron Corbin because he didn't know what Baron Corbin had in store for his little peach, Mandy Rose. So everybody stopped what they were doing to look at Baron Corbin cutting a promo on Mandy Rose. How stupid can this company and the people that run this show be? Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So officials and agents stepped in. The show went to commercial. Speeding up here because I guarantee anybody listening to me doesn't give a shit about these 6 guys. Tucker dropped Ziggler with the kick and then tagged Otis. Otis rubbed his belly. He was firing up or hulking up, per se. Then tossed Ziggler over the top rope to the outside. Strowman ran the freight train. Whee! Woo! You know, the Strowman Express doing its little chug, chug, chug on the outside. So Strowman ran the freight train around the ring, plowing through the Miz, tossing Morrison into the plexiglass. At least the plexiglass is getting a nice workout here on these shows. At least it comes in handy at some points. Then he tossed Ziggler back in the ring. Otis landed the caterpillar elbow on Ziggler for the 3 count, and that was it. That was it. This was great because I'm glad to see Tucker. Well, the match wasn't great. It was just great that Tucker was back and that heavy machinery is still a thing in WWE. But this was not entertaining whatsoever. Miz and Morrison are nothing more than a comedy act, and this is what I feared when John Morrison came back to the WWE. Nobody gives a shit about John Morrison. Teaming him with The Miz was going to have him lose credibility instantly, so I don't give a shit about John Morrison now. Thanks, WWE. It's comedy act territory. This is complete rubbish. It is garbage. It is throwaway for the Universal Championship on Sunday. It is just merely a middle ground to get Strowman onto the Fiend. That's all it is. Like I said last week, I'm going to reiterate it again. It was better off if WWE kept Braun Strowman off of television and then brought him back on Friday next week after the pay-per-view to build towards Extreme Rules and Bray Wyatt and The Fiend. Simple. But this show was completely anchored by the Intercontinental Championship match between AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan. So there's no way I could give it a thumbs down because of what they did. It was nothing more than a thumbs up. But where do we go from here? This is a new era in WWE, folks. The Bruce Pritchard era is upon us. What will happen? Are we going to get the same feeling that we get on Friday on Monday? Or is Bruce actually going to do a good job and write some decent television? I'm not holding my breath. I'm getting out of here, guys. Thank you so very much. Hit that thumbs up. Follow me on Twitter at JD from NY206. Same thing on Instagram, JD from NY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. If you guys missed Off the Script 330, make sure you guys go and check that out. Link is down in the description of this very video. A rant for the ages. This is what legends are made of in the podcast community, man. Nobody does it better than me. I brought all the facts to the table, and once again, man, everybody that proved me to be wrong, you were made to look like a bunch of blithering idiots coming out of last year. Oh, but give it a chance. I'm seeing change. Where? The only change I see is goodbye Paul Heyman, hello Bruce Pritchard. Because Vince McMahon didn't like the job that Paul Heyman was doing on Monday night. Why? It's all in the video. Go and check it out. And when you hear it, you're going to be like, oh man, JD was right. I don't believe I've been sleeping on him. Man, I got to listen to him a little bit more often. Yeah, you should. Hit that thumbs up and I'll see you guys right back here on Saturday for part 2 of OTS, and then on Sunday for all that you need going into WWE Backlash. See you guys then.